What if democracy doesn't die with a bang, a sudden cataclysm, but with the quiet rustle of a ballot? What if the very tools designed to protect our freedoms are subtly, insidiously used to erode them? Imagine the American flag, once a symbol of vibrant liberty, now limp and still, hanging heavy, devoid of the wind of dissent. A visual representation of a spirit slowly fading. And while the Capitol steps fill with protesters, anger in the air, voices raised in passionate opposition, a visible sign of unrest. The real threat, the insidious danger, is often much quieter, lurking in the shadows of procedure and policy. The end of opposition might not be a hostile takeover, a violent overthrow of power, but a slow, almost imperceptible legal surrender, a chipping away at the foundations of freedom. One vote, seemingly insignificant in the grand scheme. One law, subtly shifting the balance of power. One procedural change at a time, each seemingly minor, but collectively reshaping the landscape of our democracy. A death by 1,000 cuts. The most chilling scenario isn't a coup by force, a sudden and violent seizure of control, but a government elected by the people, operating with public consent, meticulously dismantling democracy from within, brick by brick. Power isn't seized through brute force. It's locked in through carefully crafted legislation and bureaucratic maneuvering, making real opposition irrelevant, silencing dissenting voices. The final blow isn't the sound of a soldier's boot marching on freedom, but the quiet, almost unnoticed act of a clerk certifying a foregone election, rubber stamping the end of meaningful choice. The question isn't simply whether we can survive a direct attack, an external threat to our nation, but whether we possess the vigilance, the awareness to spot democracy's slow, insidious decay, the rot that sets in from within. Because sometimes, the greatest threats to our liberty arrive not with a roar, but with a disarming smile, a comforting promise whispered in our ear, and the seemingly innocuous act of pulling a voting lever, the very act that is supposed to protect us. Let's define a one-party state. It's not just one party winning a few elections. It's a system where the ruling party fuses with the machinery of government, making real opposition impossible. Think Soviet Union or modern China, where the party is the government, the military, the economy, everything. Other parties, if they exist, are powerless props. The US was built on competition, checks, and balances. No one group should have unchecked authority. The danger isn't a winning streak. It's rewriting the rules so the ruling party can't lose. That's the difference between democracy and a slow slide into something much darker. Compare the American experiment, messy, loud, built on temporary power and constant debate, to the authoritarian blueprint, where power is permanent and argument is eliminated. In democracy, the media and courts challenge power. In authoritarianism, they serve it. Civil society thrives in one, is crushed in the other. American democracy demands consent, renewed through real competition. Authoritarianism demands submission. In a one-party state, there's only one product on the shelf, and you must buy it. The peaceful transfer of power is democracy's core. Authoritarianism rejects it. When you see attacks on elections, the press, and the judiciary, you're seeing the authoritarian toolkit in action. The American system was designed to resist this, but no design is foolproof. Modern one-party states are masters of illusion. They hold elections, have parliaments, and even allow token opposition, but it's all theater. In North Korea, elections mean one pre-approved candidate per office voting no is dangerous. In China, minor parties exist only to agree with the ruling party. Elections are tightly controlled opposition, excluded outcomes predetermined. The existence of elections doesn't equal democracy. It's about whether they're free, fair, and meaningful. If the opposition can't win, it's not democracy, it's a stage play. The props are real, but the outcome is scripted. Could America, a nation founded on democracy, actually devolve into a one-party state? Is it possible that the very foundations of our republic could be eroded until only a single political entity holds all the power? The warning signs are already flashing. But the real danger isn't a dramatic coup with tanks rolling down the streets. Instead, it's a slow, almost imperceptible shift, a gradual erosion of norms and institutions that could fundamentally alter the landscape of American politics. It's the insidious doubt cast on the integrity of elections, and the dangerous idea that only one party's victory is legitimate. January 6th wasn't just a physical attack on the Capitol. It was a direct assault on the idea that power should change hands peacefully, a cornerstone of our democratic system. The threat isn't as overt as outlawing opposition parties. It's the more subtle tactic of convincing millions that any defeat at the ballot box is the result of fraud. Because once the narrative takes hold that only one party's win is valid, you're no longer operating within a true two-party system. The slide from there to permanent one-party rule becomes frighteningly short. The unthinkable idea of America as a one-party state is no longer a far-fetched fantasy. It's a very real possibility. The question is no longer, could it happen here? The crucial question now is, how close are we already to that point of no return? Soft authoritarianism doesn't arrive with tanks. It's a slow hollowing out, using democracy's own rules to undermine it. State legislatures are ground zero with gerrymandering, creating safe districts and making real competition impossible. Politicians choose their voters, not the other way around, severing the link between public will and power. A party can lose the popular vote, but keep control insulated from accountability. This legal, quiet entrenchment of power is devastatingly effective. In states like Wisconsin and North Carolina, we've seen majorities lock in power for years, even as public opinion shifts. Laws are passed to further restrict voting and cement control. It's slow, legal, and it's strangling democracy one state at a time. The authoritarian toolkit is depressingly familiar. Restrict voting, capture the courts, control information, and discredit watchdogs. Voter suppression isn't about poll taxes anymore. It's purging rolls, closing polling places, and making voting harder. Capture the courts by appointing loyalists and attacking independent judges, turning the judiciary into a rubber stamp. Dominate the media by attacking the free press, building a partisan echo chamber, and sowing distrust. Undermine civil service, science, and law enforcement. Replace professionals with loyalists. Dismiss inconvenient facts. Each move chips away at democracy. Together, they form a blueprint for its demolition. The process is legal, incremental, and often invisible. Until it's too late. This is how republics are dismantled from within. If this process continues daily, life might look normal work sports routines, but the hum of real debate would vanish. Political discourse becomes a monologue, news echoes the government line. Courts stacked with loyalists offer no recourse, checks and balances become history lessons. Power is unchecked decisions made for party loyalty, not public good. Corruption flourishes, oversight is neutered, and public apathy grows. Why vote when the outcome is rigged? Why care when nothing changes? Apathy and cynicism become the norm, exactly what authoritarians want. Life goes on, but the sense of agency and real choice is gone. The narrative that we're on an irreversible path, that our fate is sealed, is a dangerous one. It breeds apathy, and apathy is the silent killer of democracy. The truth is, the story isn't over. The future is still unwritten. Every anti-democratic action can be met with resistance. Activists, lawyers, and journalists are fighting back, upholding the Constitution and holding power accountable. Our institutions, though battered, still function, and many judges and civil servants, often unseen, act with integrity, upholding their oaths to serve the public good. Most importantly, the people have power, the collective strength to shape their own destiny. Through protest, civic involvement, and voting, citizens can demand change. Voting, especially, is the cornerstone of our republic, the voice of the people. The greatest defense against tyranny is a citizenry that refuses to be silenced and demands accountability. So pay attention. Reject the cynicism that tells you your voice doesn't matter. Support local journalism and vote in every election. Don't let comfort become complicity. America's future is not predetermined. It is written by its citizens. The chilling truth is that America could become a one-party state, a future we must actively fight. But the hopeful truth is that it's up to us to prevent it. The future of American democracy rests in our hands.